Experience tranquility. Pass into the iris.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Iris Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Yeti. Joining me tonight, I have Nagisa and I have Thuggington. Welcome to the two of you. How are you guys doing tonight? Not all at once.
Pretty good.
I'm glad.
Welcome, everybody. Again, we are in week 3 here in Tranquility. We are actually now halfway through stage 1. That is correct. Halfway through stage 1 already. The season starts to fly once we get into it, guys. So let's dive right in with Amp It Up. It's our segment at the start of every single Iris podcast, breaking down the week that was, the week that comes, and then us saying something that you will clip on Twitch for memes later. Let's start off with your favorite moment from last week. Nagi, start us off.
Okay. I'd say that my favorite moment was probably watching the match between Insidious versus Throwing Her Bad, because there's like a lot of talent on Insidious, and getting to see firsthand, like on stream, how well that they're playing, I thought that was a lot of fun to watch. So that was definitely my favorite.
Yep, Insidious looked fantastic in that feature match. I got the opportunity to cast it, so it was a lot of fun. Thug, your favorite moment from last week as well.
I always love hearing a bus come through and you get a little beep reverse sweep. Luminous Foxes over Big Bang Buccaneers. It's a tough draw for Big Bang, but the energy that comes in from a reverse sweep is something hard to contain. So, and it's not easy to do. So that was probably my favorite moment.
I'm not, I'm maybe biased being the GM for Big Bang Buccaneers, but it was cool. Good for Luminous. Good for Luminous, guy. My favorite moment from last week is, let's face it, you guys all know that I am the founding member of the Jersey Boys fan club, and right now, there we go, Nagi.
Oh, you are?
You are. I am the founding, and Nagi apparently is a founding member of the Big Bang Buccaneers fan club, mind you. I am a founding member of the Jersey Boys fan club, and the Jersey Boys came up big last night with a 3-2 win over Galactic Penguins, the preseason champions. So the Jersey Boys supremacy, I'm telling you, this is finally the season of the Jersey Boys. You won't hear any hot mic moments of me calling them bad anymore. It's just, it's it. This is time. It's the season of the Jersey Boys, and Godzilla is ready to run roughshod over the entirety of Tranquility this season. So buy your Jersey Boys stock now. The stonks are up.
Choky's right.
What are you most looking forward to this week, guys? Nagi, start us off.
Well, I'm excited to play my match. That's just a little biased, so I won't say that, but outside of that, I'm looking forward to just a lot of the different matches this week, because there's been a ton of back and forth with different teams and who everybody's thinking is going to be the best, and we're not really sure who the best is right now. It seems like we have a team we expect to be good, and then they're knocked off, so I think that's just been the exciting part, is seeing all these new teams and new talent. There's no like, this team is the best because they have been before, because there's just so much new talent. So I'm excited to see like how all these matches are going to go down this week.
Thug, anything from you on that?
My thing I'm looking forward to the most is matches between undefeated teams. I always think it's fun to really see these teams that early in the season they kind of rise to the top, because it's like, oh, they haven't lost yet, so they must be really great. And we're going to see some moments right now to figure out who these teams are. Nemesis, Koala Kings, Alta and versus Oreo Fleet, Quaco Queens versus Drakes. There are going to be some really fun matches, and again, this is where the cream rises to the top.
Absolutely. I love this point of this point of stage 1 is always interesting, because this is where you finally start to see that separation, and it's really cool to see like the good teams rise to the top of their groups here and it kind of establish themselves as powers in Tranquility. Speaking of which, I've been really enjoying watching Rampaging Inferno this season. They had a really fun feature against Rift last week, and they played against Seal Team Spuds in week 1, had a 3-1 loss there. But taking a look at Rampaging Inferno, I think that team is deceptively good. I'm really excited to see what they end up doing this week. They have a matchup coming up against Ragnarok Fenrir, who is 2-0. This could be a big opportunity for Rampaging Inferno to kind of step in and really make kind of a statement victory here. If they can overcome Ragnarok Fenrir and what is shaping up to be a pretty darn tough and formidable group, that would really establish themselves well moving towards stage 2. So I'm very curious to see what Rampaging Inferno does this week. On that same token, I'm also really curious about Storybook Heroes, or I'm sorry, not Storybook Heroes, pardon me, Shake and Bake. They just joined this season as well, fresh to the community. They took a map off Koala Kings in week 1. And Koala Kings, very, very potent, powerful team. So I see that, and I see a lot of potential there. They have a big opportunity against Fighting Potatoes this week to kind of step away from the winless record and see if they can get their first positive mark in the win column this week. Definitely looking forward to that. Let's get some bold predictions for the remainder of the season. Nagi, start us off.
All right. I had to think about this a little bit, but kind of tagging on to what I was talking about looking forward to, I think that many of the teams that are going to make playoffs and even championships will be none of the teams that people are expecting. I think a lot of these newer teams are going to be occupying those playoff brackets, and maybe near the end of the season, people will start to realize that. But I think right now, nobody's really figuring out who the top contenders are right now. So,
Thug, what about you? Who do you got here for your bold prediction?
Mine's very similar, it's just a lot more negative. It's almost the same thing, just worded differently. At least half of these top, we're talking about top 8, top 4 here. Half of those won't make it past the first round of the playoffs. I think there's a lot of way big overreactions early in the season, like, oh, they're 0-2, they're absolute trash. Sometimes it's a matter of the pool draw you get. Some of these teams look way better or way worse than they are. We'll see after stage 2 what actually happens, but at least half the teams in the top 8 aren't going to make it past the first round.
Bold prediction. We'll see how it ends up turning out here. My bold prediction goes to our friends at Alt F4. Now, Alt F4 came out this season. They are 2-0, much to many people's surprise, including Thug. I'm pretty sure Thug is surprised too. That's the real shock.
It's more wins than we had. It's the same amount of wins we had all last season.
Exactly. Thug, they came out 2-0, and that is impressive. And you look at that roster, there's talent there. You got Arise, you got Dimtree, you got Splinter, you got just an incredible group of people carrying Thug to 2-0, and that's the impressive thing to me. Mixed ready Overwatch,
strong backs.
It's an impressive thing. So I gotta hit you with a bold prediction about Alt F4, and I gotta say, Alt F4, the rest of the season, they're not going to win a match.
Okay, no, that's just rude.
My prediction is Alt F4.
You're not wrong. It's rude.
The rest of the season, Alt F4 is not going to win a match. Get the D colons out in chat, everybody. That is a mean one, but I mean, all right, Thug, I'm gonna sit with you. I'm gonna level straight with you here, buddy. You got 2-3-2 wins. I'll give you that. You came up big when you needed to come up big. But what it comes down to is this: you still have Mix on your team. See what I'm getting at here?
I can't argue with you.
All right,
cool. I can't.
But yes, that's my bold prediction, and I'm sticking to it. We'll see if it actually comes true. I hope it doesn't, because I love Alta. All right, before we get into the montage, guys, again, we have our Tranquility Hall of Fame. Once again, for reminders, for people who aren't aware what Tranquility Hall of Fame is, that is our way of recognizing people who have given a great deal to the community, either through fantastic play, fantastic service to the community, just being a generally good person around here. And it's our way of recognizing the people who helped build Tranquility from the very small Overwatch tournament it is to the fantastic gaming community that it has become. Last week we have a pretty large Hall of Fame already. If you'll go into the Discord, you can see our Hall of Fame listed out there in the Hall of Fame channel. Last week we inducted our first member of the Season 8 class, and that was Smugs. And this week I'm going to turn it over to Thug to put in our next Hall of Fame inductee.
Thank you, Eddie. When he asked me to do this, I was actually really excited about it. These are always really fun. it's always cool to see the people that make a long-lasting impact on the whole community, not just as a player, as a content creator. There's a lot of reasons why people are nominated. It's outstanding play, people that have consistently been part of the top of their tiers, always really showing up. MVP, you get championships, and then you get people that add a lot to our content. That's what Tranquility is known for, is our content. Things that we put out on a weekly basis, several times a week. It's what sets us apart from other communities. And then there are other people whose claim to fame and rise to notoriety comes from getting spawn camped by a gold Moira. Ice, my guy, it is your time to join us in the Hall of Fame. But in all seriousness, no, Ice is the new member of the Tranquility Hall of Fame. I am absolutely honored to welcome him aboard. He is probably the best sport about the whole thing. This is something that happened 2 whole years ago, where I, a gold Moira, fun fact, still am, spawn camped Ice. And stay tuned for our admin punks. There's going to be a little something in there. But wait, yeah, Ice GDH, guys. Ice GDH. He's in chat.
True.
He's there. You
True.
see him. He's right there.
True. Welcome to the Hall of Fame, Ice. Like Thug said, it's beyond just the meme, which he has embraced, by the way. It's been really fun. That's been a fun little mini rivalry for the past 3 or 4 seasons.
I love it.
It's been so much fun.
It's very one-sided.
It's very one-sided. But Ice
Shocking.
Ice, well-deserved. Season 3 Discord tier MVP, 2-time champion here in Tranquility, multi-time all-star. Definitely a deserved induction into the Hall of Fame, and a bit overdue if you ask this guy here. So congratulations to Ice joining the Tranquility Hall of Fame. As part of the Tranquility Hall of Fame, you receive the tiny little gold roll in Discord, and that's it. But still, you get to be in the Tranquility Hall of Fame. So congratulations to Ice. Make sure you tune in next week, guys. We'll have more inductees going in, continuing next week. So you will not want to miss that. And so far, again, Ice and Smugs have joined the Hall of Fame this season. All right, we're going to go ahead and get to our weekly montage at this time. The montage this week was provided by Nagi. Thank you, Nagi. Nagi with the weekly montage this week. So I will go ahead and kick to that now.
somewhere in the world.
And thank you so much, Nagi, for that fantastic montage. We certainly appreciate it. And now to reward you for your fantastic montage, we're going to make you react to a bunch of stuff and make people dislike you. No, I'm just kidding.
Yay!
It's okay. We're all used to it here. Nagi, let's start us off. We're going to do the Iris Top 8. That's right. The Iris Top 8 makes its return this week. Let's start off in the NA Harmony tier. And we will start off again in 8th. We have Nemesis. In 7th, we have the Galactic Penguins. In 6th, Luminous Foxes. In 5th is Geometric. And in 4th, the Strix. And in 3rd, Fire-Breathing Rubber Duckies. And in 2nd is the Jersey Boys. And in 1st, remaining at the top this week, is the Koala Kings. Nagi, your reaction?
I think it's pretty accurate, honestly. I'm kind of surprised that Galactic Penguins isn't a little higher, but honestly, I mean, looking at it, it looks about right to me. So I don't really have a lot to say about it.
Bug, your thoughts on this?
I think the teams in there are accurate. I think Koala Kings is too high. I think people are thinking about last season a little bit too much and not really putting into account what's happening this season. So I think Koala Kings a little bit too high, but they're still worthy of a top 8 spot. They're still a good team, but yeah, we'll see.
I think this is a very interesting top 8 because I think a couple teams, I think one team in particular is missing. Amateur professionals, I think, are missing on this top 8. I think they belong there right now. I would have a hard time taking out any of the teams, though, because I think Nemesis is too low. I think Galactic Penguins probably a bit of an overreaction to yesterday's loss. I think, looking up and down the whole thing, I think if you're looking at any team in particular, I think that it's probably the most outrated is probably Koala Kings. Koala looked good, but I don't know that I'm convinced that they're the number 1 team right now. And the next thing is, I don't know that I'm convinced Jersey Boys is the number 1 team. I don't know that I'm convinced that Strix would be the number 1 team.
It's more fun, right?
Huh? There's no clear.
It's more fun if Jersey Boys is the number 1 team.
That's true. It's more fun. But to me, there's just no clear number 1 right now, which I feel like is interesting because Harmony Tier oftentimes has had a dominant team at the top. The past few seasons, it's been flashbacks. Now we don't have that anymore. We don't have a clear number 1 team right now. That's really interesting. So Harmony Tier looks very open right now, and it's a super exciting time. Let's go to the Discord tier now. Starting off in 8th, you have Valkyrie. And in 7th is Domination. And in 6th place is Alt F4. And in 5th is Oreo Fleet. And in 4th is SEAL Team Spuds. In 3rd is the Quokka Queens. And in 2nd, you have Joey Esports. And then last but not least, at the very top is the Cosmic Castaways. Nagi, your thoughts on the Discord tier?
Again, to me, it seems pretty reasonable. I'm happy to see Oreo Fleet and Alt F4 on there. I think Oreo Fleet, I'm a little surprised that they're not higher, but I guess it's just, I don't know. I'm not really sure. I think they deserve to be a little higher, but that's about it. I mean, I'm just happy to see some teams that I'm fans of up there. So,
Bug, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think Oreo Fleet is vastly rated in here. They're probably my favorite team in general. It's an adorable logo.
It's the logo.
Oreo's adorable.
It's the logo.
Dude, they're so cute. Just want to scritch them. Yeah, I don't know. And you guys, come on, Alt F4, would you stop? I know it's fun to root for us, but listen, I'm gonna level with you. You're only gonna get heartbroken. I'm just saying.
Let's get it going, guys.
Have,
Hashtag Thuggington for MVP, everybody. We're gonna will it into creation, everybody. Hashtag Thuggington for
Here's the thing,
MVP.
I'm going for that best. I'm going for most improved because I can't get much worse.
That's fair. That's fair. I will say this about the Discord tier right now. I think it's a pretty fair top 8, other than a couple teams who I don't necessarily think belong there. I think Drake's should get a look. I think they're about where, you know, they're about at that point, in my opinion, where they probably should start getting some respect thrown around for them. I also think Space Created probably should be in the top 8 instead of Alta 4. Nonetheless, Discord tier, I feel like it's pretty close. It's pretty close. Transcendence tier, now we have Puerto Rico in 8th. 7th place, you have the Billings Boomers. 6th is Carnage. And in 5th, you have Manifest. Coming in 4th in these rankings is Battalion. And in 3rd, you have the Devil Dukes. And in 2nd, you have the Decapitators. And last but certainly not least is Epizeuxis, sitting in 1st place. Nagi, your thoughts?
I think it's pretty fair. I'm a little surprised that Billings Boomers on there because I'm pretty sure they played their first match last week, right? So
They certainly did.
I was a little surprised. I mean, they're good. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I think they're very good, but I was just a little surprised to see them on there already. But yeah, I think it's a pretty fair lineup, honestly. I don't really have a lot to say about it either.
Yeah.
Thug.
You know, I agree. I think it's one of those things. Yeah, continue.
I was gonna say, Thug, your thoughts, but go.
Fine, I'll go. You know, I think early season top 8 stuff has a lot to do with its org recognition. And that's why I think, like, yeah, it's just the Boomers have played one game. How do you know who the hell they are? And there's a lot of teams that are new to the community that don't really get a fair shake because no one really has a clue who they are. So you get a lot of, you know, if the org has done well in the past, they automatically zoom up the rankings. That being said, I'm a Decaps fan. They're kind of crazy. Smug's back on the roster. Hello, W's, bro. Like, let's go. Let's go.
True, it's true. You know, I think the Billings Boomers don't belong there yet, just to be honest. Like, no offense to the Billings Boomers, but they just haven't done anything yet. You know? Like, that's my main thing. Like, they beat Meraki. That was a good win, but like, should you be rated in the top 8 in the Discord tier yet? No, we haven't seen enough yet. Like, let's see more than, you know, let's get more wins than Council of Anime Girls last season, and then we'll talk. So, I think it's a pretty set of fair rankings. I don't think it's wrong. I think, you know, some people in chat are really worked up about the rankings right now, which I found super interesting. But
I love it. Give me the interaction.
I love it.
Feed
the interactions to me. Make sure to like and follow me on Twitter. But in general, to me, it's kind of like, you know, in the end, there was a panel of like 10 people who voted you guys 5th in the end, and you don't need to be rude about it. So, but that's your choice, I guess. Sorry. Kind of weird chat, but okay, let's move on to our next.
No, I did it. I specifically put you.
Yeah, 5th. I specifically put you 5th because F you. No, that's not what happens. Like,
I hate you. I'm mad at you.
Move on. Just don't be rude about it. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to our next one here, which is going to be the Harmony Tier EU. That is a top 4 because we only have 12. So we cut it in half because every tier is 24. There's 12 and 24. Math, guys. This is math. All right, moving into the Harmony Tier.
I love math. Dude, math is
EU
great.
top 4, you have Venice Vipers sitting in 4th. And in 3rd is Feeders United. And in 2nd, you have Apollo. And last but not least, probably to nobody's surprise, given the early season run they're on, is EU Scrimbucks. Nagi, your thoughts on this top 4?
I don't know a ton about EU, but I was doing quite a bit of research through the match sheets and stuff, and obviously Scrimbucks, completely fair. I think Apollo makes sense. The other two I don't really have a ton to say because I don't know a lot about this tier yet, but from what I researched, seems about right.
Thug, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is the tier that has a clear favorite. EU Scrimbucks is running away with this damn thing. It's theirs to lose. I mean, the rest of it again is going to shake out. It's pretty early for top 8 to really make, or top 4 in this case, to make a big statement. But yeah, it's EU Scrimbucks' tier to lose right now, man. They're real strong.
They do look strong, no question about it. I think EU Scrimbucks looks really good, and to me, it's who can beat them. That's really what it comes down to. The rest of the tier is in a tough spot. I think EU Scrimbucks just look strong, and we'll see how it goes. I am keeping a close eye on Venice Vipers still, and I think they could be good. Also, Feeders United, I'm excited about as well, but we see how it all pans out. So let's get to our next segment, guys. It's called Contender or Pretender. Our analysts are going to talk about every undefeated team remaining in Tranquility so far. Are they contenders for the championship, or are they merely just pretenders to the throne? That is the question we will ask tonight. And we're going to start off in Harmony Tier EU and go with Nagi, starting off with Feeders United. What are your thoughts, contender or pretender?
So I'm gonna say pretenders. Their week 2 match was really close. We don't have a lot to base off of it yet, but what I can base it off of is that they've been having quite a few problems the past few weeks, needing ringers. I think they had a disconnect. It doesn't really paint the best picture for them, but hopefully that can change. They could settle in, but for now, it's just pretender to me.
All right, Thug, what about you?
It's a pretender as well. I'm not feeling what the team's bringing to the table. Again, this has little to do with them and more to do with who else is there. So, contender by that form.
You know who else is there? Let's go to Apollo next. Nagi, contender or pretender?
It looks like it could swing either way, but I'm going to say pretender again. Their scores are strong, but their matches were closer than you'd expect. I think there's a chance they could be a contender, but it's hard to say at this point. So basing it off of overall match score versus per map score, I'd say pretender.
Thug, what do you think here about the contender or pretender?
I have a contender on this one. It's a really strong roster with a lot of pop-off talent on each line, which I think is going to lead to being a team that you can't really shut down. You know, if it's one person that hard carries, they shut them down. But I think it's going to be hard to really mitigate a lot of the risk that's going to be coming from several players on that team.
Right, next one here is Rimbucks. Nagi, contender or pretender?
Contender. They've been a favorite since the beginning, and I believe it's for a good reason. Their team is really strong. Their map scores definitely don't lie so far, and they just have a good overall presence, like in game, in the community. So I can see them taking it all the way to playoffs and championships even.
So just to clarify for the people who just showed up right now, we're doing contender or pretender. Basically, we are picking up all the 2-0 teams that are currently sitting in Tranquility and talking about whether or not they are actual contenders or just pretenders. It's just a segment name. Could be a lot of different names. Good versus bad. Awesome versus not awesome. PogChamp versus champ. I felt weird saying, not gonna lie. Let's go now back to the Thug. Did I get you for EU Scrimbucks? I don't think I did.
No, but you know what I'm feeling about it? Contender. They win.
Yeah.
Hashtag Thug was right.
It's true. It's true. All right, let's go back to the NA side. And Nagi, start off with Strix, contender or pretender?
Okay. I hate to say this, but based on what I've seen so far, I'd have to say Strix is a pretender. I'm a Strix fan, but I don't think they've gone up against any real strong opponents yet, which makes it hard to know where they sit right now. Their match against Shake and Bake was pretty close, so as it stands, I'd have to say pretender, but I do hope I'm wrong, so we'll see.
Thug, your thoughts on Strix?
I have them as a contender. It's a strong team. They've been around for a while. It's a storied organization with a lot of longevity to it, which leads to usually consistent rosters, and the confidence seems to be really high. And in Harmony tier, a confident team can go a long way. So I have them as a contender.
Right. Nemesis 2-0, new team, a lot of familiar faces. Nagi, your thoughts?
This is kind of a halfway point for me, but I'm going to say Contender. Their win against Chrysalis, I think, is what solidified this answer for me. While it was close, I think that Chrysalis is a strong team, and the fact that they were able to keep it up and push through is why I would give them Contender. The reason I say halfway is because they've only gone against one of the higher tier teams of 2 matches, but still Contender.
Thug, your thoughts?
For me, I have them as kind of both. I haven't really decided, and it's going to come up to what happens this week when they play Koala Kings. I'm leaning towards Contender on this one. I believe in Nemesis's roster more than I do with Koala Kings. So yeah, I'm saying Contender. Question mark.
Nemesis looks real good. I definitely would agree with that. Koala Kings, speaking of, Nagi, your thoughts, Contender or Pretender for Koala Kings?
Well, I wrote this might be controversial, but after hearing what you guys said earlier, maybe it's not as controversial as I thought. But I'm gonna say Pretender. I think the Koala Kings have been notoriously strong, as many of the Marsupial org teams have been in the past. But this season, it feels like they're barely squeaking out their wins. Their past 2 weeks have been pretty close. One against a newer team and one against a good team. But like with Marsupial org teams being those wipe the floor kind of teams in the past, I feels more like they're pretending this season just to get by.
Sure.
They got a big match this week, no question about it, Thug. You were talking about it earlier. Want to go there again?
No, I think I've said my piece on it before. I've kind of ripped into Koala Kings a couple times. I mean, it's a Navino run team. What do you do? I mean, I'll say this. If Navino could keep a roster intact for more than like a week, you have a lot more success. All I'm doing here is Navino. Yes, I can change your roster. Yeah, sure, you can add that guy. Yeah, I can run this for you real quick. Okay, it's Navino and roster changes. Now to name a better duo. My guy.
All right. As a reminder, guys, we do have our giveaway going today. We will be drawing at the end of it for a free shirt from the Tranquility Store. The Tranquility Store is an awesome place to pick up merch to rep your favorite teams in Tranquility, past or present. If you want to get some of that, go to shop.spreadshirt.com/OW Tranquility. Best opportunity to support both us and your favorite team. Again, that will be giveaway will be drawn at the end of the cast. It's 1,000 Trank bucks picked up at the very end here with the well, just bottom of the chat. Just hit the thing. Okay, all right, let's stop spam. And let's go now.
He loves you.
He loves me. That's great. I feel so loved, but it's weird. Let's go now to our next team. That is Fire Breathing Rubber Duckies. Nagi, start us off here. Contender or Pretender?
This one was a little hard for me, but I'm kind of going out on a limb here and saying Contenders. I think they've shown a lot of potential, especially last season. That's kind of what I'm basing it off of. But unfortunately, they had one bye in the past 2 weeks since season starts, which makes it kind of hard to really say. And while their one match was not against one of the current top teams, I feel in my heart they've got a good potential. So I'm giving them Contenders.
Thug, your thoughts?
I have a Pretender on here. Again, it's been one match. They got to show me a little more something more than what they have. Their one win wasn't necessarily super convincing for me. However, that 4-0 is going to go a long way in the standings. A long way. Plus, they have Drug on their team. He sucks.
Yeah, Drug sucks. But no, I love Fire Breathing Rubber Duckies. In my opinion, I think they're my favorite team right now in Harmony. Just throwing that in there. I love that logo. Luminous Foxes, Nagi, Contender or Pretender?
This was so close for me. It was incredibly difficult for me to say, but I said Contenders. Their matches have been very close, which is the kind of like seesaw Contenders or Pretenders part for me. I don't know, but I believe in them. They've been around a few seasons. They know the ropes. They have the potential. So I'm giving them Contenders, and I hope to see them grow more this season.
Thug, your thoughts on Luminous?
I have them as a pretender. I think they're okay. Modify's got built a good team so far. Or sorry, Magnify has built a good team. I'm just not fully convinced that they have what it takes to go the full season and really show up in playoffs.
Luminous Fox's Apathy's favorite team. You know that they think that they are a contender. Let's go to the amateur professionals now. Nagi, your thoughts?
Contender. I don't have a ton to base this off of, but they seemed really strong in the past few weeks. While a very close match against Frost Nova, I think winning against them is a good testament to how they'll do the rest of the season. So, contender.
Thug, thoughts?
Yeah, I have them at contender as well, and I 100% agree with Nagisa, and I should have filled this out before her so it doesn't seem like I'm copying her every time. But she makes some very, very good points, so thumbs up.
Amateur
Thanks, Thug.
amateur professionals looking really good. I think they might 5-0 this stage. They look really strong. And the pool working out in their favor a little bit. I think the pool might be a little bit weaker than some of the other ones, but you can't complain about results. In the end, you can only win the games in front of you, right? And I think amateur professionals, they're an absolute contender. They definitely look like they're going to 5-0 this pool. Speaking of that pool, Gehenna Gatekeepers. Nagi, your thoughts on Gehenna Gatekeepers?
Pretenders. They've gone up against some of the lower teams so far, and those matches were still relatively close. So whether that's, contributed to the lower teams rising up to the challenge or Gehenna Gatekeepers not being as strong as Matt differential shows, it's kind of hard to say, but I think they're going to struggle come the following weeks.
Thug, your thoughts on Gehenna?
Yeah, I'm not feeling that they're a super strong team. You barely beat Squall, and I don't think Squall's that good of a team. So if you don't show up, you have to beat the teams you're supposed to beat by a lot. And if you don't, it really shows a testament to do you play down to your competition? Are you taking maps off? Tranquility can be a little bit of a grind, and if you don't bring your A game every time, it can easily get away from you. So I have him as a pretender.
Right. Gehenna is, I really look forward, by the way, to Gehenna eventually taking on amateur professionals week 4. That could be a really good one. So
Could be, yeah, for sure.
Let's get now to our next team in Geometric. Nagi, your thoughts?
Contender. Another close one for me, but their matches have been fairly definitive so far. Again, against some top teams against some teams that aren't top teams or purely teams we don't know enough about yet, but I'm still going to give them contender. I believe in them.
Thug, your thoughts on Geometric?
Yet you're far too distracted by chat right now.
No, I'm just distracted.
They are just baiting you. Oh, I get you. I have them as a contender. This team just screams winner to me. They all have the right attitudes, there's the right talent on the team. Geometric might be a sneaky dark horse to really do something on this season. So, Contender.
Chat's got me going today, man. They got me fired up. I
fucking see that.
Geometric, by the way, speaking of really good teams, I talked about fire breathing rubber duckies. Geometric has a legitimate case to be made for the top team, but we'll have to see how that one pans out. Jersey Boys, we have a ton of 2-0 Harmony tier teams, by the way, like a ton of them. I don't know how, but we just do.
It's a ton.
It's just so many 2-0 Harmony tier teams. It's actually crazy. Jersey Boys now. Nagi, your thoughts on Jersey Boys?
So I forgot to write something for this, but I'm still going to say contender. I think they're really strong this season. I think they were strong last season. And that's about all I can say because I forgot to write something. But I know Jersey Boys is good, so contender.
All right, Thug, your thoughts on Jersey Boys?
I'm into it, dude. And as the musical has, this is the season. One would say the 4 seasons for Jersey Boys. Frankie Valli is proud of you. There's like 6 people that know
that's like there's everybody over 30 that's watching this. It was like 3 people. Is like,
oh yeah, I know Frankie Valli.
Yes, yes, that's very good. Yes,
both of them in chat.
Yes,
all I'm old.
Yeah, it's all 2 of us here who got that reference. All right, let's take it to Discord tier now, guys. Finally out of the Harmony tier. We're gonna start off with our. We'll start off with Valkyrie, Nagi, contender or pretender.
I think this is close due to how close their matches have been, but they did get a 3-1 win over Domination, which I'd consider as a pretty good team. So that alone gives them contenders for me. I think they may struggle later on in the season, but I think they can pull it all together and keep it rolling.
Doug, your thoughts on Valkyrie?
You know, their DPS line kind of slaps. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if they have the mental for it. To be honest with you, bro. You could be really good, but if you tilt off the face of the planet, it's not gonna be it. So yeah, no.
Cosmic Castaways, contender or pretender, Nagi.
I'm a fan. I think that team has some really good, really strong people, good mentals, good players. I definitely believe in them. I'm giving them contender. I think that the 2-0 that they got is just the icing on the cake to show their strength.
Emo Thug, your thoughts on Cosmic Castaways?
Cosmic Castaways is a giant contender, and you can tell they're having fun, and that's shocker. I know in this state of Overwatch, you can still have fun with the game. Even though fun's for losers, Dad. No, this team is a contender. I really like what they're doing. I think they're strong, bro. They're super strong.
All right, and Drake's 2-0 to start the season. Nagi, are they a contender or are they a pretender?
I'm going to say pretender. I don't have a ton to say about this, though, to be honest. Their matches have been up against newer teams, which we don't have a complete read on yet. But I can say that their map scores were pretty close, which kind of gives me pretender. Like, I hope to be proven wrong because I love to see teams start lower mid and rise to the occasion. But as it stands, it's pretender.
All right, Drake's, Doug.
I think they're a contender. They're going to show up this week against Quack Queens, and they're really going to start their ascension. It's going to be gnarly. I'm really excited for it.
All right, and Quokka Queens, Nagi, your thoughts?
Contender. I hate to say this is close again for me, but it is. As I touched with Koala Kings, the Marsupial org has a very we come in, we roll, we leave kind of team the past few seasons. But seeing these matches, they were really close. But I still give them contender based on their players, their previous strength, and the fact that we don't really have a good read on how good the teams they've gone up against really are. So,
Doug, Quokka Queen, think.
I don't know, dude. Quack Queens feel like a diet Joey Esports. Not sorry about it. Yeah, I think Navino's getting a little stretched, a little bit thin. So yeah, it's like diet caffeine free Joey Esports. It's not even good.
All right, Joey Esports, speak of the devil. Nagi, your thoughts?
contender. Another team with strong players. They got Cryptic Force. I saw that on the sheet the other day. They got Asdo and QZ. I think that's how you say it. And Navino, etc. That's a lot of talent. I named the people I have seen around for a while, but I know for a fact that their whole team is pretty stacked. So I can definitely see them making playoffs. Contender.
Thug, your thoughts on Joey Esports?
Cryptic J Force. Contender.
The J stand for
Winner.
Joey Esports.
Proven winner. Huh?
The J,
Yes.
the J now stands for Joey.
Joseph.
Joseph, sorry.
Cryptic Joseph Force.
Cryptic Joseph Force.
I am gonna say it because you guys both talk about, or you talk about Cryptic, and Cryptic's great. The meme is there, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it that they have the MVP on their team, and it's not Cryptic. Oh God, it's not Cryptic. Oh God, it's not Cryptic. In my opinion, right now the early MVP favorite is Swifters, or I believe they're playing on the account Sam. I think is what it's S4MM Sam. I'm gonna go with Sam because it's just whatever. Swifters.
Just say Sam. I like it.
Yeah,
It
I'm gonna go
feels
Sam.
You
Just,
can go
yeah, and it's certainly not Navino.
No,
So
don't do
it's to me, it's got to be
No.
Swifters. I'm gonna boost that ego really big just to make the rest of the team angry. Let's go to Ragnarok Fenrir right now. Nagi, your thoughts on Fenrir?
Pretender. I don't think they've gone up against any of the best, quote unquote, yet, and their scores have been rather close. I played against them in a few tryouts earlier on before the season started, and I think there's a lot to work on if they want to rise in the ranks in Trank and beat the higher competition. There's absolutely a chance they've changed that since I last, played against them. But based on what I have personally seen, I'm going to have to say Pretender.
Your thoughts?
I have a Pretender as well. It's a team in the Thor OW org, and come on, dude, get real, get real. You want to be part of a cool organization? Join like the Starch org or something, or the Marsupial org. You go with Thor. God, who do you watch too much Vikings, bro? Whatever. Go touch grass.
Harsh, bro. Oreo Fleet, Nagi, your thoughts? Contender or Pretender?
Contenders. I'm a big fan of Oreo Fleet. I tried out for them before the season start, and they were awesome. I mean, if I had played in Discord tier, they would have been my choice. Strong players, fun team. I think good mentals. I can absolutely see them going all the way.
Thug, let's get your thoughts on
Yeah, dude, they're contenders. This is a scary team. In a weak pool in stage 1, 2, I could see them easily going 5-0. If they look to continue to improve, even though the pool can get light, they're going to be really, really well in stage 2. Is if they kind of limp their way into stage 2 because they took it easy, it's going to be interesting because they're going to play a lot better competition. But good team.
Not about it. Oreo Fleet. Let's go to Space Created now. Space Created 2-0. Contender or Pretender? Nagi.
Pretenders. As it stands, I'm a little unsure with this, but I'm still going with it. I think their matches have been close, albeit they were against new teams, so we're unsure what the strength of those teams are. But I think that them being so close could potentially be a problem. It's early enough; these matches don't mean too much, so there's definitely a chance that could change. But we'll see. Pretender.
Thug, Space Created. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I have them as a contender. I think they're having a lot of fun. Again, it's a weaker pool, and I'm saying that because Alt F4 is in it, FYI. Weak pool. I think they're having a lot of fun. They should. This sounds weird, but hope and pray for Pool B because I think you're going to get outclassed in Pool A, and it's going to kind of break your mentals. But if you can have some fun, get into a good pool, get out of the elimination pool, that's key. Trust me, I have been there. It's going to have a lot of fun. So I put contenders.
Alt F4. Nagi, Contender or Pretender? Alt F4.
Doug, I'm looking at you. Contenders. I think this is an interesting one.
All right, let me hear it.
They had 2 3-2s so far.
True.
My general opinion when there's matches that close is how long is this going to last? But
Fair.
I believe in you guys. I think the mental that it takes to pull through so many 3-2s is insane. And to do it twice so early in the season, I think it puts Alt F4 in a good spot to grow, whether it be strictly from experience or, hey, I'm tired of the stress of the 3-2s. Let's just win this. So, contender.
Thug, is Alt F4 a contender?
No. No chance. There's no way we are a contender. Listen, we're having a lot of fun. I'll say that. Yeah, I appreciate your voltage, but get real, bro. There's no way I do say we have probably the best coach in all of Tranquility. You heard him. He's a Hall of Famer, a fellow Hall of Famer with me. However, he's been to all of 0 scrims. So thanks, Velzen. Appreciate you, brother. You're the greatest. Best coach.
Moving to Trans Tier now. Phoenix, Nagi, Contender or Pretender?
Pretender. I don't know a lot about this team. But based on them having a 2-0 overall score, like map score so far, and half of it was from a bye week, it just makes it hard to put them at contender. I mean, they got a 3-1 win over Vengeance, which has some strong players, but basing it off of one match is kind of hard. So I'm just going to say pretender for now.
Thug, your thoughts on Phoenix?
I have a pretender. until they show something, I guess it's going to be hard to say. They're not winning convincingly, so I have Pretender.
Epizeuxis, Nagi.
Contender. Is an interesting one for me. I have no doubt that, oh God, how am I going to say this right? Epizeuxis. Nope, I can't say it right. But anyway, I think they're a really strong team.
EpiPen.
I think they're a favorite this season. EpiPen, yeah. I think they're a favorite this season. I absolutely think they're a contender, no doubt. But they've also had a bye. They had a 3-2 win over Battalion, which is pretty close. Battalion's a strong team, so that paints a great picture for them the rest of the season. So I think it's contender. Yeah.
Thug, Epizeuxis.
Yeah, with a win over Battalion, I think that's huge. They're a pretty strong team, and I think they're going to do a lot this season. I have them as a contender. I think they will do some work.
Despite only having one game, they're still the number 1 ranked team, preseason champion as well. Gotta call them contenders, pardon me. Manifest, Nagi, your thoughts on Manifest?
I'm kind of going. I'm going a little more based on gut feeling for this one, if I'm honest. But I'm looking at their roster and therefore a win over Insidious, although it was close. It gives me a good feeling. I'm giving them contenders. I definitely think they can be contenders this season, but we don't have a lot to look at right now with the Trans-Tier Maelstrom forfeit. So, still contenders, but we'll see.
Thug, your thoughts on Manifest?
Pretender. This is not Destiny.
Nice.
Thank you.
Devil
Thank you.
Devil Dukes, Nagi, your thoughts, contender or pretender?
Contender. I think we all know the strength of Devil Dukes last season, and I do believe that that goes for this season as well. Again, they got a bye. I thought it was kind of funny how all of these top teams have been getting byes last week, but yeah, based on last season performance, based on their roster and their one match this season, I think it's pretty clear to see they're a contender. So,
Thug, your thoughts on Devil Dukes?
They are a contender. I think this is probably going to be the only marsupial org team I don't shit on super hard. They're really strong. I don't think they're quite as strong as last year, but season. They're still pretty strong, and I like them. They are adorable, and I want to smooch them.
Decapitators, Nagi, your thoughts?
okay, so I want to say this from a non-biased standpoint. I know that's
Biased.
hard. I know that's hard, but I'm being honest. I swear. Non-biased. I think that we have a strong roster, and honestly, seeing how many good players are on this team makes me wonder why I'm here sometimes. But that's beside the point. Decapitators have strength, great players, great mentals. We have fun. I think that's the recipe needed for contenders. And even if I wasn't on the roster, I would see this team and I would go, yeah, they're going to go far. So
contender? Saying it?
Did I not say contender?
You
yes.
didn't.
Yes. Contender.
Yeah, you said great mentals.
I'm sorry.
You said great mentals, but they have Orsted on their team. Anyways, Thug, your thoughts on Decapitators?
I have them as... They are a contender. I really love the team. I love the org. GMs needs a hug. Hugs?
Yeah, all the time.
Soon.
Yeah.
Plus adding Smugs, dude. Smugs is a legit dope dude. So yeah, I think that's a massive move, and Ret to go. Contender.
That's a contender.
That's
a contender in chat.
Puerto Rico, Nagi.
I'm gonna say it. I think it's Pretender. I hear a lot of talk that they're this crazy strong team, but this is based on 2 weeks. I don't know a lot about this team. I feel like a lot of people don't really know a lot about this team, and I feel like they're going to have to prove themselves more to know for sure. They got a 3-1 over Kent State Esports, 1 definitive map for them, 2 close ones, and a 3-2 against Rat Society. So close scores, Until I see them doing contender stuff, I'm gonna have to see some good wins off of top teams. So to Pretender.
Puerto Rico.
That is a very well thought out, well constructed answer. I'm going to steal it. But no, I'm with you there. I haven't seen what everyone's talking about yet, but I will caveat the fact that I'm like gold and plat, so sometimes I just lack the critical information. So, but they are a pretender. You heard it here first. Second, technically.
All right. Last but certainly not least on our list here is Carnage. Carnage, are they a contender or a pretender, Nagi?
I think this is a strong team, honestly. A lot of good players on this team. I'm giving them contenders, even though we haven't seen them against any of the high tier teams yet. But I believe they're looking good so far, and I'm honestly really excited to see what the rest of the season holds for them.
Bug, your thoughts on Carnage?
Yeah, I consumed all the same information Nagasaki had, but I'm gonna have the opposite analysis. Like, cool, strong team, good players. We haven't seen anything yet, though. So I'm gonna call you a pretender until you can prove me wrong. You have to prove me wrong. It's Thuggington hash 6087. Shoot me a Discord when that happens. So DM there. Just shoot it in there. Hit me up. I open DMs. You can add me as a friend and let me know.
All right, we are about to hop
Enter.
into our comms check here, folks. Want to go ahead and get your last second giveaway entries in that right now. But as a reminder, we do have a couple more segments coming up to wrap up the day, as well as a special announcement about event week. You're not going to want to miss that, guys. So let's make sure to tune in now for the comms check.
This is going into comms.
check. It's going to comms check.
Yo, Kobe, how have your exams been?
Oh, I skipped it so I could show up to this. So let's
Yo,
go.
No way, no, yeah, no way.
No shot.
Insane
Let's
game,
go. 20% of my grade? Nah, bro.
100%
of
the championship. Let's go.
It's like really bricked up for this game as well.
Yeah.
Yo.
Kobe's bricked up for real.
Hell yeah.
When you said that you need healing, you jumped out of your own immortality field.
I don't recall.
Your boy's destroying on 200 ping? Let's go.
Alright,
Let's go.
I'm lagging so bad. No, I'm popping! Bro,
Vincent,
come on.
Vincent, we all know you can't aim, just E right click. It's fine.
Monkey's discorded then. Monkey's discorded and hang monkey. Monkey. Ooh ah.
Oh man.
Are we sure about Mercy though? Like,
Yes,
isn't
we are
Brick
sure.
pretty new? Okay.
Nagi wants
Never
to
mind.
play the Mercy.
My bad, Nagi. My bad, yo. My bad.
Not to be mean, but Chase, I'm playing Mercy.
Okay.
Shut it. Demon shard.
I'm hacked.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you again so much to Billy Gott for editing that one together for us. Much appreciated, as always. Guys, wait, your comms checks clips. We had very little to choose from this week, and therefore we had to put in that really loud yelling one. A really loud yelling one. Would like more comms check clips. Help us out with that, guys. Get them in.
I would love them.
He only got like 9 this week. It's disappointing. So make sure to get those comms checks in for next week, everybody. Really quick before we get going here with our next segment here, and I forgot to tell you guys we were going to cut this one. I had them pick out one team from every tier who isn't 2-0 to be a contender for or who's expecting to be a contender this season, but the time we're going to reduce it. Pick one of the 4 teams that you guys chose. Okay, I'll give you a minute to stew over that while I say my team. The team that I'm picking here that is not in the top or not 2-0 right now, that I do think will be an impactful team as the season goes on here. I'm still keeping a really close eye personally on Venice Vipers. I think that team I think they're a good team. You know, they had EU Scrimbucks early on, which is a tough match no matter what you look at here. I think they're definitely going to be a threat going down the line. I expect to see them in that kind of conversation for that championship bracket on the East side. Nagi, let's go to you. Any 1-1 or 0-2 team you think will be factors by the end of the season?
I picked Shake and Bake. I think they have some real potential. It's early on in the season, but they've had some close matches, honestly. They took a map off Koala Kings. I think it puts them in a good spot. So I think they might rise up.
Thug, you're watching right now.
Team I have is Galactic Penguins. They are a very good team. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a little unsolicited free advice from Papa Thug here. We're getting close. Yep, a little closer. Just get real close. Shut up. You have an opportunity to either be loved by the community or hated by the community. You can be flashbacks everyone hated with Wolven, or the flashbacks everyone loved and admired. It is your opportunity. But if you take one thing out of this, shut up. I love you.
Right. Well, Thug goes hard. Let's talk before we get into our matches to watch this week, guys. One quick announcement. Event week is right around the corner. I know everybody's super excited about that. We love event week. It is our best time really every season. We come together as a community. The biggest thing, we have all these awesome tournaments where we're doing Widow 1v1, the Torb Hammers only, on a paintball, the 2v admin pugs. It's all fantastic. It's all great. Every season for the past 4, we've also been raising a ton of money for the charity Rise Above the Disorder, a fantastic organization that provides mental health resources, primarily focusing on teenagers and young adults. They are a wonderful organization that we've loved partnering with for the past 4 seasons. We've raised over 20 grand in the past 4 seasons for them. Awesome. That's so many people receive critical care for their mental health, and you guys have done a lot to contribute to that group. So thankful for everything you guys have done. But here's what it comes down to, guys. Right now, there is something going on in the world that we all know about what's going on. It's just so much bigger than anything else happening in our society today. And because of that, we have decided that right now, as opposed to putting our money towards Rise Above the Disorder, which we very easily could do again in the future, we are going to be donating, making our charity drive this season for Project Hope, which is for Hope for Ukraine, which is a charity that focuses on providing medical supplies, help for children, refugees, things like insulin, things like food, things that they don't have right now. So we are deciding that right now it makes the most sense. Instead of, Rise of the Disorder is a fantastic group, and we will probably be going back to them. But right now, Ukraine needs every dollar they can get, and we want to help them out as much as we can. So we do hope that you guys will come with us, stand with Ukraine, and help with some big donations coming up here during event week. Everything raised during event week is going to be donated to Ukraine, like we've said before, or donated to Project Hope to help the Ukrainian people deal with what is terrible, terrible things that are going on in their country. We do hope that you'll help us do that. We want to make the biggest impact we've ever made. If there's any season where we can break 10K, guys, this is the season I want to do it. And I hope you guys are ready to go in and go all in to help contribute to this amazing, amazing cause. And we really hope you guys can help us out with that. So let's go make an impact there coming up in about 2-3 weeks, guys. Event week, it's coming up. It's 28th of March. It's right there, guys. It is right around the corner, and we love it. We love it here. So the GMs have already been asked to sign up. So if you're a player wondering how the heck to sign up, talk to your GMs to ask them, hey, why haven't you signed up our team yet? Get on them to do that, because we want you guys to participate. We want you guys to have fun, be a part of that really fantastic week. Let's get into our matches to watch this week. Nagi, start us off.
Okay. I'm saying Strix versus Chrysalis. I'm a fan of Strix, but I think this is going to be a close and interesting matchup. I gave that score 3-2 for Chrysalis, so be very interesting.
Thug, your thoughts this week on the match to watch?
Yeah, I've been kind of alluding to it the whole podcast. The Koala Kings Nemesis match is going to be a banger. I have Nemesis pulling us out 3-1 and really solidifying themselves as a team to beat in Harmony here.
I'm going with Harmony Tier. The Harmony Tier matches this week are insane. They're fantastic matchups. My match to watch: Jersey Boys versus Geometric. Initially, I also had put Alt F4 versus Oreo Fleet because I was gonna play a fun pun on Alt F4 versus Rio Fleet. But then I realized there's no way Alt F4 is gonna 4 Oreo Fleet, so I can't do that one. So I went with
if that happens, by the way, it's going to be nuts.
Yes, it's going to be the
DMs,
biggest upset in Tranquility history, by the way. That would be Jersey Boys
for sure.
Jersey Boys versus Geometric. I think that's a matchup probably of 2 of the top 3 teams in Harmony Tier, in my opinion. It's going to be a slugfest. I predicted Jersey Boys beating Galactic Penguins 3-2, and I'm going to pick Jersey Boys beating Geometric 3-2 as well. I think this is the season of the Jersey Boys. I think it's time to get on that board, guys, and everybody move out to the East Coast. It's time for the Jersey Boys, you know? All right, guys, other programs this week. We have Predicting Tranquility coming up right after this show. Again, tomorrow we have the fantastic Harmony Tier feature matches. We do hope you'll tune in for that. Starting off on the EU side, we have in that matchup, Here we go. Frequency taking on the Venice Vipers. In the evening, then, here stateside, you will have NA action. Bricks taking on Chrysalis. On Wednesday at 9:30, you'll have the Devil Dukes taking on Maelstrom. And on Thursday, you have the Discord Tiers feature, which brings you SEAL Team Spuds taking on Inferno Foxes. And on Thursday, after that match, you'll have the Beat Drop, which will be hosted by Booth this week. He'll be interviewing Syme from Galactic Penguins, Gusty from Carnage, Bubba Wyatt from Chrysalis, and Retro from Fahrenheit 14. So you're not going to want to miss any of those programs come up here this week. And the last thing, but certainly not least, is our giveaway winner. And congratulations. I need a random number generator, Thug. Random number generator.
I got you.
All right, and congratulations to Mazen OW. Mazen taking home the giveaway win today. You'll be receiving a t-shirt as well, just as Natter raids with 24 people right at the very end. Thank you so much for the raid, Natter. We do certainly appreciate it, but unfortunately we're about to sign off for the night here on the Iris podcast. Do stay tuned. However, coming up here just after we go off the air is Predicting Tranquility with Bowsy. So I hope you get an opportunity to tune in for that. But for Nagi and Thug, we appreciate you gazing into the Iris with us today, and we do hope to see you soon.
Experience tranquility. Pass into the Iris.